Hello, welcome back to another video. It's Lydia here. So today I'm going to be looking at two collections that I've got. They're pretty small ones, which is why I thought I would combine them together. And that is the Nintendo 3DS and the Nintendo Game Boy. So they're not collections that I talk about a huge amount because, like I said, I've not got loads and loads of games for them, but the Game Boy has a lot of nostalgia for me, so it's one that I've been slowly collecting games for. And the Nintendo 3DS also has a lot of nostalgia for me because that's what I kind of grew up playing. So yeah, I'm just going to go through what my collections are, show you a bit about them, explain to you which ones are my favourites. So first up, I'm going to show you my 3DS, and it's in this really cute case, which is from Yokai. I can't remember the name of this particular monster, but it's really super cute, and it's a soft one with ears, and yeah, I really like it, and I keep all my games inside of this. But this is the 3DS. So like I said, it's the XL one and it's the Pokemon XY, I think. I don't really like Pokemon, I don't really play it, I've never really played it, but this one was cheap and I really love the colour blue, so that's kind of why I got it. It's not got a box or anything and I got it secondhand, but yeah, like I said, it was super cheap. And yeah, I love the fact it's a kind of shimmery blue. And you can see a design carries on to the back. And yeah, like I said, it's the XL, so it's got the extra large screen. I don't necessarily think it needs the extra large screen. I think it looks a bit pixelated sometimes, but you know, sometimes it's nicer just to have a bigger screen so your eyes aren't straining as much. But yeah, it's in really good condition, and like I said, I don't play it a huge amount, but it is a good console to have, definitely. So next up, we'll take a look at my Game Boys. Now I actually have two, one is colour and one is just the usual pocket one. And it's these ones. So this one is a little bit sun bleached. As you can see, it should actually be this colour. But I got it really cheap. I think I got it long before the prices started going up. Now if you buy a Game Boy, the prices are pretty horrendous. They're quite expensive, especially if you want to get a backlit screen one. Like I said, it's not in bad condition, but it's not in particularly good condition either because of the sun dye. Yeah, I think it makes it look a bit more retro, which I kind of like. So yeah, I probably play on this one more than my colour one just because I kind of prefer it. But yeah, that's that one for you. And then I have the colour one, which is the see-through shell. I think this one's actually been modded. Again, it was really cheap. I really like the orange buttons on this one and it's super fun to play. I probably don't play on this one as much as the other one, but as you can see, it's in pretty good condition. And it's even got a little orange button at the side too as well. So yeah, I think I'd definitely like to try and mod this one in particular, and yeah, it's just because it's already been modded and it's in less of an original state. It's definitely something I want to explore a bit more in future with modding older consoles, and I think probably Game Boys are the easiest place to start. So yeah, watch this space, I might try and do that sometime. Okay, so let's take a look at the games I've got. So I'll start off with my DS games first, just because that's the one I've got the most of. And ta-da! Like I said, not a huge amount, but yeah, it's not too bad. And there's a few classics on here as well. So I'll just talk you through what I've got. So obviously a classic is Super Mario 2. I think this was probably one of the first 3DS games that I completed, just because obviously the Mario games are always constantly on there and they're some of the first games that come out for new consoles. So yeah, it's a really fun game. You know what you're getting with it. It's basically a slightly 3D Mario, but it's still the platforming 2D. But yeah, it's super fun and definitely a classic for the console. This one does actually have all the leaflets inside. The leaflets with 3DS games don't tend to be that interesting, so I don't really care if they have them or not, but yeah, that's that one. Now I have a couple of Final Fantasy games, so I've got Final Fantasy Explorers, Final Fantasy Revenant Wings and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates. I've not played all of these. I definitely played this one. It's definitely more of an RPG exploration one that takes place in separate times. I don't think it's tied into any of the games in particular, but you do see different ones from the series, like I think you see Lightning and you see Cloud. It's pretty cool. You know, the graphics aren't bad for a 3DS game, so it's definitely worth getting for the collection if you don't have it already. And yeah, got a little leaflet with it as well. And then Revenant Wings, I think, is related to 12. I think it might be either a prequel or a sequel. I can't remember which. I know it's related to 12 in some way. I've not actually played it, so I can't really talk about the gameplay. Yeah, the graphics look pretty good if you look at it. It's got the characters from 12. Yeah, I think it's a sequel. But yeah, we'll have a look inside as well. It's got another manual. And this one's actually quite a nice manual as well. It's full colour, which doesn't happen very often. So yeah, it's really cool. I'll definitely have to play this one sometime soon. So the next one that I've got is Ring of Fates. Now again, I don't know a huge amount about this. I've not played it. The graphics don't look as good as the Revenant Wings, but it does look very cute. The characters have definitely got a cuter style to them than the other ones. Other Final Fantasy games tend to be a lot more serious, but this one looks like it's trying to be cuter and sort of more anime-like. But yeah, that's another Final Fantasy one. I used to be a really big Final Fantasy fan, and that's kind of why I started collecting loads of the games, and then I kind of stopped being as much of a fan of it and just kind of stopped playing them, and that's kind of why they've remained unplayed in my collection. So next up is Chibi Robot Zip Flash. This featured in my latest pickup video, so I've not played it at all. If you want to see more about this game, you can look in my pickup video if you like. If I do give it a play, I will definitely let you all know how this is. But yeah, it looks very cute, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Animal Crossing, where my love for Animal Crossing started. So I didn't really grow up with Nintendo at all, so I didn't play any of the games on the GameCube, but this was my first experience of Animal Crossing, and I really fell in love with it, even though I didn't necessarily know how to play it properly at the time. You know, it's a pretty basic game, but I was a bit younger when I got it, so I didn't really understand it, but I just really enjoyed the chill, relaxed vibes of the game. It's definitely one of my favourite games to play if I just not really in the mood to play games, but I want to do something. It's just really so relaxing to play, and yeah. And this one's got various things inside, just lots of leaflets. It's not really anything too interesting. It's got all the bits about the amiibos, and I've not really used the amiibo feature on this, but it does work. I think I tried the cards once, so it's interesting. But yeah, it's definitely a very fun game to play. Next up, another classic that's very weird and wacky and fun to play is WarioWare, and this is Gold. Now, I really enjoy the WarioWare games. If you've not played them before, they're basically lots of mini games. If you've ever played Mario Party, it's kind of similar to that, except a lot crazier, and the game is just mini games. But it's very fun and can be challenging at the same time. It's multiplayer as well, so it's a good one to get with your friends. And yeah, it's just insane. It takes the Mario universe to a whole nother level, and yeah, it's pretty insane. So definitely try it out if you haven't already. This one, again, same thing as the other one. It's got lots of promo leaflets in there, but nothing too interesting. But yeah, definitely try it WarioWare out if you haven't. So next up is a game that I really do enjoy, and that's Yokai Watch. Now this also has an anime, I believe, and it's just lots of fun. So this one's very similar to Pokemon, so if you enjoyed that sort of collecting aspect of Pokemon, you probably enjoy this game, and I definitely think it's very fun and very engaging, and like I said, it's got little bits of animation and cutscenes, and it's really nice and it's really well done. I love the character designs. You basically go around catching yokai, which is like spirit demons or spirit monsters, and there's quite a good story to it. There's some really fun mechanics to it. It's open world as well, so you go around searching for the yokai, and you have a little directory and it tells you what you've caught, and I think you can also evolve them as well from my memory. So yeah, it's very fun, and if you enjoy Pokemon, you probably enjoy Yokai Watch as well. As you can see, it's in good condition as well. And yeah, it's got leaflets, but it's just promo ones and stuff. And I have got the second one, which is Bony Spirits as well, but I have not played this one, so I can't really say much about it. But yeah, I'm sure it's more of the same and just as good as the first one. Again, same thing, lots of very hefty, boring manuals, but nothing interesting in there. But yeah, definitely give Yokai a go if you haven't already. So last but not least on my collection is Professor Layton games. Now, I think I've got all the DS ones, but I need to get a couple of the 3DS ones, but they're really great games and I can't recommend them enough. They're kind of like crime solving mystery, and they've got lots of puzzle elements to them as well, lots of logic puzzles, lots of just general puzzles as well. They are so much fun. They've got really engaging stories, and like I said, the puzzles are both fun and challenging. They're really good games basically. Professor Layton and the Curious Village was one of the first games I had for the DS. I got given it as a gift and I really fell in love with it. I think it was one of the first ones that I even completed, let alone played. So it's definitely very good, and I'm definitely going to try and play them through all in order again, because I've only played the first 1 and 2, I think. So definitely be good to play them through in order. And if you have a look, different covers. This one does actually have a leaflet, and it's actually in colour, which is nice. Got Lost Future. I believe these also have different names in different countries, so in the States some of them are called different names as well, so just watch out for that. And that one. Got Pandora's Box. A lot of these have got gold foil wrap as well on them, which is pretty cool. Have a leaflet in there. I think pretty much the leaflets are all the same, they're just explaining how to play the game. But yeah, it's nice to have them. And I've got Spectre's Call as well. Oh, it's got another leaflet in there. And then 3DS one, which is Miracle Mask. Oh look, that's really cool. They've got the little masks in between the plastic parts. And yeah, got another leaflet in there as well. So yeah, definitely recommend giving Professor Layton games a go if you haven't already. Okay, so that's it from my DS collection, so it's time to move on to my Game Boy collection. So I have some in here that I really love and that are some of my favourite games. So we'll start off with an absolute classic, and that is Space Invaders. I've spoken about this so many times before, but I just really enjoy it, and what's not to love? It's classic gameplay of shooting through and clearing stages, but it's got such fun music and fun visuals, and yeah, it's an arcade classic, so it's definitely one to get for the Game Boy, and you can still pick it up very cheap. So yeah, that's that one. So many people might not know this, but I'm actually quite a big Star Trek fan, and I've begun to collect more and more Star Trek games, and yeah, I'm sure there's many of them, and I probably won't collect all of them in the end, but I'm trying my best. I have 2 Star Trek games on the Game Boy, and the first one is just called Star Trek. Now this is a really fun game actually. Basically it's a side view and you have your ship and you have to avoid obstacles going up and down and occasionally shooting at things. Very simple gameplay, but it is a lot of fun. It's very challenging, and if you're a fan of the films and of the series, then you'll probably really enjoy this as well. It's got some good music in it as well, and I really enjoyed a lot of the sound effects too. So yeah, very basic game, but it is a lot of fun if you want to give it a play. The next one that I've got is Star Trek Generations Beyond the Nexus. I believe it's based on the film. I've not played it, so I can't tell you what the gameplay is like. I'm sure it's either a platformer or very similar to the previous one. But yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of Star Trek, and you know, I think it only cost me like £5 in the end, so you can't really say no to it. A lot of the cartridge only games are pretty cheap these days, so yeah, it's definitely one to have for the collection if you're a fan. Now this one I have very mixed views of. So I bought this when I had the Game Boy as a kid. I bought this game thinking it was basically a normal Mario game. Didn't really understand what it was and was very sorely disappointed, and that's Dr. Mario. It's basically Tetris with pills if you've not played. It's not bad, it's kind of fun. It's got some really quirky designs to it, and basically you merge things and there's like these little bacteria things that are animated, and it's kind of cute and quirky, but if you're expecting a Mario game, this is not it. It's basically Tetris, and that's kind of what it is. You have pills that are different colours and you have to align them and basically break them up so that you can get through and clear the area. Yeah, like I said, pretty simple gameplay, but it is fun if you want something that's a bit simple but also a puzzle challenge. So yeah, that's Dr. Mario for you. Now this one's quite a recent pickup, but again it's one I had a lot of nostalgia for when I was younger, and that's The Humans. Now, I don't think this was a massively popular game. It's basically a kind of platformer and you control several different characters. You basically have to utilise them all to get through the level. There's various obstacles like ladders and you jump off of things and throw spears. It's quite fun and I really enjoy the art style of it. There's some dinosaurs there as well and they're basically cavemen with spears and sticks, and it is a lot of fun. There are some frustrating bits in it and it can be a little bit clunky to play. The good thing that I do like about this game as well, that it's actually got level codes as well. So if you pass one level, you can write down the code so you can go straight back to that level again. That's the problem that I have with a lot of these older consoles, is that you can't save your progress in any way. So you have to spend a lot of time grinding through the same levels again and again, but this isn't the case with this one. It's a lot of fun, so I definitely do recommend trying this too. Okay, next up, an absolute classic, and that's Mario and Yoshi. So don't need to say too much about this one. It's a very fun platformer and playing with Yoshi is super fun too. I love being able to ride Yoshi and using his powers, and well, kind of powers, but he basically picks things up and eats them. But it's super fun. You can obviously play this on the SNES, I think, as well. And yeah, it's really fun on the Game Boy too. And yeah, I really like the cover on it too. There's no scratches or anything on the actual sticker, and I just think it's super cute. And it's Mario, so what's not to love? Another one that's a classic is Kirby's Dreamland. I've not had this for a very long time, but I really do love it. I'm not like a massive Nintendo fan or a massive Kirby fan, but I think Kirby's a classic and I really love the art style of it, and they're really fun games to play. Anyone knows they're a platformer and you basically suck things up and you absorb their powers. It's a really unique game, I think, for the Nintendo. So yeah, that's Kirby's Dreamland. Last but not least, obviously I have Super Mario Land, and I think pretty much everyone that had a Game Boy had this game. There's not a huge amount to say about this one. It's Mario, it's a very big classic, and yeah, I really love a lot of the worlds. Spent countless hours getting destroyed on it and getting really frustrated with it, but everything about it is just really cool. The music and yeah, the art style and the characters, and yeah, it's just super fun. So it's definitely one you have to have if you have a Game Boy. So yeah, that's everything in my Nintendo DS/3DS collection and my Game Boy collection. Like I said, it's not a huge collection, but it is one that I do have a little bit of nostalgia for, and I'm definitely going to try and collect more and more for it in future, especially before the prices start going up to crazy levels too. If you have any game recommendations for the DS and the Game Boy, please do leave them down below. I love hearing your recommendations. But thank you so much for watching. I'll leave all my links to my social media down below. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like to do so. Don't forget to also leave me a subscribe if you don't already, and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!